guys you've brought in today?
Yeah, we brought in 3 new guys. I think that positions that will really help us. Obviously Michael Martinez is a big one for us, both in size and ability. Really excited about him. Obviously losing Caleb Wilson, to fill in at the tight end spot. We knew that it was going to be a priority for us, and we had identified Mike a long time ago, and Derek Sayes did a really good job in developing a relationship. He had a great year at Mater Dei this year, so we're just excited. I think he has a huge upside as a tight end. Can do it all. He's got the size, obviously, to be an inline tight end, but played flexed a lot for his high school, so can get out into open spaces and catch the ball. He's got a huge catch radius. Probably one of the bigger tight ends I've ever had the opportunity to recruit, so we're excited about Mike. Charles Njoko is another kid. Adds to the size, a lot like a Mike Ezeki or a Chase Cota in last year's class, so another bigger, taller target on the perimeter. Comes from great bloodlines. His brother is a tight end for the Cleveland Browns. His other brother is a wide receiver for the Dolphins. So Charles, I think, is a guy that has a huge upside. As he continue to grow into his body, he's all a 6'4" and change right now. So really excited about him. And then Noah Keeter is an outside linebacker that adds some depth for us. And we needed to get bigger there too. And Noah's a 6'5" kid, 225 pounds. We took Hayden Harris in December, and he was a 6'6" kid. So I think we've got some length on the edge, which is what we needed at our outside linebacker spot. So we think all 3 of those guys will have an opportunity to come in here and contribute early.
Do you expect to maybe add any more guys today or later in the period?
You have no idea. We have an opportunity for 1 or 2 more guys, but we'll see how that plays itself out.
How would you kind of characterize your happiness level with the class in general now that it's...
We're really happy with the guys we got. I think they're great fits for this university. Have all their priorities in line, especially the academic and athletic combination with this university prides itself on. So I'm really excited about the guys we have.
The numbers were down, and as far as number of guys from last year, did you target this number roughly, or was there...
No, I think you have to take what's out there. I don't think you just we have a spot, let's just take a guy, and then he doesn't fit or he's not what you're looking for. We're not looking for guys to come here and then leave. So, we want to make sure that guys fit and they're exactly what we're looking for. And if they're not there, then we'll hold on to it and wait and see if we have somebody else.
You had a lot of transfers announced in the past few weeks. Did that kind of change your outlook on the recruiting?
No, I mean, we knew most of the kids are grad transfers that didn't play, so you obviously know that they're going to move on and try to go play somewhere else, and we're trying to assist them in terms of where they can get to. But most of the times when you're dealing with the graduate transfers, it's because they're not playing at the last place. Usually guys aren't transferring if they're playing at the last place. So we try to assist those guys in any way we can in terms of where they're heading and what they can get accomplished.
Would you say are going to get involved in the transfer market to bring some transfers in?
I don't have any crystal ball to predict anything, so you have no idea. There's always a reason someone is transferring. So,
would you say you're active in it now? I mean, are you looking at potential transfers?
We look at everybody that comes through, so it's not like we don't look at people. So, but you also have to find the right fit for this university, and first and foremost academically. So who's gonna be able to get in? So that's the number one thing before we even look at anything else. So that's part of what the whole process is. So I wouldn't say we are or we aren't. We look every single day. I think every coach in the country looks at the transfer portal on a daily basis, but you also have to dig deep and find out why are they transferring. That's a big part of it. So sometimes guys are transferring because they're not playing at another place. What makes them think that they're going to play at your place, or maybe there is a legitimate reason. So we take them all on an individual basis. So
how's that transfer portal changed college football?
I don't think it's changed it at all, to be honest with you. I mean, we took 2 grad transfers last year. So if someone's going to transfer, they're going to reach out and get their release from their school and move on. So I think maybe the fans can track it better, but I don't think it's changed it from a coaching standpoint.
Go ahead.
This was your first full recruiting cycle. How's it? What have you learned? What have you seen change since you did it back?
I think there's a lot more transfers now, and I think maybe sometimes kids don't get sold a bill of goods at one school and get there for a year, and now they're looking to get out, because maybe it wasn't exactly what it was. Not all that glitters is gold. You try to sort through it. I think we try to be real and transparent in terms of what we're recruiting here, so that when we get kids here, they're going to stay here, and that's part of the process for us. So, but I don't think it has changed much, to be honest with you.
You've been here 15 months now. Have you been happy with, as a staff, your recruiting approach and results that you've gotten?
Yeah, I have.
In what way? Just the guys you brought in?
Yeah, I think the class we brought in last year was outstanding, and I feel really good about this class.
Do you have a recruiting coordinator?
What's that?
Do you have a recruiting coordinator on staff?
On our full-time staff?
Yeah.
No, we just have a player personnel department that we do everything through. That kind of coordinates everything for us. But we don't have a point person on the staff itself now.
Are you looking to hire more on the recruiting staff? There's still some openings.
Yeah, I think they should be filled. You got to go through the university system and how long they're posted for and all those things, but we'll be full pretty soon here.
You did an clap eighth thing on Twitter, or somebody with the football program did. Can you explain the genesis of that? And
Yeah, just when we announce when we're going to off, well, we don't announce it because we can't announce anything, but, when kids can expect to, as we move forward in the process, when kids will be offered, and it'll be on the 8th of every month, so.
will they only be made public on the 8th, or will that be the only
We can't
day?
make them public, so
Well,
that's got nothing to do with us, so.
okay.
So we can't say we've offered Ben.
Right.
That's part of the recruiting rules. The kid can say whenever he gets offered, that's when I think it goes public. But we're not allowed to comment on the recruitment of anybody until they sign their national letter of intent. So I couldn't say, hey, Joe Johnson at such and
Yeah.
such high school I've offered him a scholarship. It doesn't work that way.
Having all of those scholarship offers go out together on one day, why is that kind of important? Or why were you
What's
looking
that?
for that? Having all of the scholarship offers go
'Cause
out
you're
on one day
talking about it
together.
right now.
So, is that something you thought about? Like you wanted to have them
Yeah,
all
well, we
grouped
put some
together?
thought into it, yeah.
Do you have a new linebacker coach to announce at this point?
Yeah, we announced that, didn't we? Jason Kafusi is our linebacker coach.
Okay. What does he kind of bring?
He came in from Nevada, so he's coaching our outside linebackers. So got a world of experience. Was a heck of a player at Utah back in the day. Was at Weber State. Was a coordinator at Weber State, so has coordinated defense and has a real good understanding of that. And then was coaching the defensive ends at Nevada. So he's one of the real up and coming guys in this profession, and we were really excited to add him to the staff.
Who will coach special teams?
Derek Sage is going to be the special things coordinator.
You had said early signing period that you were looking to bring in maybe 6 or 7 by signing day. Were there
Well,
some-
depending on what we have available. So
Sure.
Were
Were there some guys
there's still, this is the first day you can sign kids, so
Right.
we're not done, but we can't announce anything until we're finalized here. So
Are there some positions that you'd still like to maybe find a few
we
guys?
take anybody anywhere. So it's not. I mean, we think we've addressed needs, so we don't have any gaps anywhere. But you're obviously looking for more players if they fit the profile, both academically and athletically.
Justin Fry is the new
Offensive
offensive coordinator. How will his role change? How will play calling be handled?
We'll go through that this spring. So we got a ton of time before we open up against Cincinnati. So, we'll work through all those different things at that point in time. But he'll assume a little bit bigger role, especially in game planning and things like that. So.
Why did you want to move Coach Fry to that offensive coordinator
Because I
position?
think he's a really bright coach, and being around him, I think he obviously earned it. The opportunity to kind of take that next step from being just a position coach to a coordinator, and he did a ton of it last year. It just really wasn't a name. So now he has the title and kind of roll with it that way. So.
You've had about 30 guys leave the team since you took over. Do you feel like you've been able to fill those holes pretty well at this point?
Yeah, we feel really comfortable where our depth is and where we are right now.
How do you feel about your walk-on program that you have here?
I think it's really good this year. Last year, obviously, we were just getting into it, but I feel really, really strong about the walk-ons that we're bringing in this class. I think we got guys who can contribute and add depth to it. So I think it's a real important part. The unique aspect that we have is that getting in-state kids to stay home. Obviously, being a state university, I think that's a big deal. And so we've made a concerted effort in the walk-on program, and I think it'll show with the kids that will show up here when we start in June.
What's the difference between a preferred walk-on and a regular walk-on?
Well, who gets invited to camp? So you're limited by the number of how many players you can bring to camp. So when I think maybe that's, I don't know who came up with the term, but if someone just shows up after school starts and wants to play football, i.e. Rudy, that's a walk-on. But if someone was actually recruited and promised a position at camp, obviously you have 85 scholarships, but you bring 110 to camp. So who are those other guys in that mix? And that's the difference between that. Who you're gonna invite to camp and who's gonna get an opportunity to come in here. Josh Kelly was a walk-on. Christian Tovico was a walk-on. We've had, since I've been here, in just the 1 year I've here, we've had 2 huge contributors from that standpoint. So, it's a big part of it, and we've made a big push in the walk-on group. So I think this group we're bringing in this year will be reflective of that, and you guys get a chance to see those guys when they get rolling around here in June. So.
You had Justin Murphy leave. Was he pretty transparent about the process that he was going to
Yeah,
leave
we
after
know.
getting that extra year?
Yeah, I don't even know. I think Murph's on campus right now going to school, so I don't know what his status is, but we knew he wasn't going to play here any longer. I don't know if he can play medically, so that's probably a question for Dustin, to be honest with you.